Hello, welcome back to Planet Zoo. This is Martini 4. We are in the children's zoo of Umpqua Valley Zoo. I decided to start with the little cinematic tour of the finished product. Just for those that don't like to stick around for the entire video. And also, if you would like to sponsor this children's zoo, just leave a comment in the comment section and let me know, and I will make up a bunch of signage to throw around everywhere. As we go through, we just pass the sheep and the goats. The fluffy butt eggs is a nod to my son. He sells eggs. We do have chickens, and that's what he calls his little egg business, is fluffy butt eggs. So I put that in our children's zoo here. And that is actually what our chicken coop looks like that I built for him. Pretty much the same color, except the trim of ours is a yellow paint that I had laying around. But yeah, this was a very large project. I do have the speed turned up on the speed build to kind of make things go by a little quicker. The video was like an hour long, so I sped it up a little bit more and it cut it down to half an hour. So if you stick around for the whole thing, that's awesome. If not, I understand. So let's get into it. The first part here is building the entrance to the children's zoo, and I scoured the internet looking for inspiration, and I came across the children's zoo in the Philadelphia Zoo, I believe it was. Yeah, and I thought it looked exactly like what I was looking for. Kind of had that kind of a whimsical children feel to it. It wasn't just it wasn't just a plain building to walk into and then enter the children's zoo part. And you'll see, well, you saw the beginning cinematics, the little archway and all the little animal signs and stuff. If you go on to Google and just type in children's zoo, you'll find the Philadelphia Zoo picture fairly easy. So I thought I did a pretty good job of recreating that. So here I put in a little ticket booth. Again, just using the information booth like everyone does, but I have a kind of like a separate admission for the children's zoo itself. That was something that I kind of remember from the St. Louis Zoo before they closed down their children's zoo. When I was a kid, the zoo was free to enter, but if you wanted to go into the children's zoo part, it was like $5 or something. I don't know. I was a kid. I didn't pay attention to that. But I know you did have to pay to get into that portion of the zoo. So we didn't always go to it, but on special occasions we would. So here on the gate, I use the caps for the fluorescent lights, the European fluorescent lights. I use those as like small wheels for the gate back there. And then I stuck a couple of bathrooms inside the building here, so they're kind of useful. And now working on the signage here. I can't remember what these pieces were. Sorry about that. Yeah, I've tried a bunch of different things before I found the kind of the right size tubing that I liked. So I use that. Colored it green because that's what it is in the photo. and just kind of made the children's zoo. I kind of made it a little more 3D looking, so I put a couple of different copies behind it, and then you got to have the framework that holds it up. And then there's a bunch of different little animals and stuff that they have. It kind of looks like flowers, I guess, growing out of the posts, and then just different kinds of animals at the tops of the flowers, I guess it is. So that's what I did here. Kind of use the new barnyard signs and stuff. They do have a frog in their picture, so that's what I started out with, is a frog, and then just kind of use what we had to work with within the game. And there is a bullfrog in the children's zoo, so everything that's shown here is also in the zoo itself. But yeah, just kind of making it look like the photo with the stems growing out of the posts there. It took a little while to get everything to line up. Actually, I've been having a lot of trouble lately having things line up. I don't know if I'm just on a weird grid or what it is, but nothing wants to slide properly or just work out. I've got to really struggle with moving a lot of the stuff. So here, yeah, just putting down the concrete little plaza area. Just I didn't want to line it with any type of like flower bed or anything. So just kind of put down some decals, make it look like some of the dirt is falling onto the path. And I do decorate the outside of that, as you probably saw in the opening, and put out this little sign, tells when the children's zoo is open. And then I tried to make everything kind of brighter colors, like what kids would like to see. So you'll see a lot of well, not a lot, but quite a few like rainbow looking stuff and whatnot. And then the sign here, I figured that it wouldn't just be letters painted or stuck onto the side of the stone, so I put the black behind it, just kind of make it look like it would be onto something. And that just gives me a real like early 90s vibe with just the shapes. And now here, I did want to throw in some exhibits. Sorry. So this is kind of the central stop, I guess. Everything for the children's zoo kind of surrounds this 4-piece exhibit. But I know in a lot of children's zoos and stuff, there's a lot of smaller animals to take a look at. So I threw these guys in. Something I kind of wish this game had was more like smaller furry creatures in the exhibits. There's a lot of snakes and reptiles and that type of stuff, but we recently went to Umpqua up in Portland, and they had a little animal exhibit within the building, and they had like chinchillas and smaller like rodents and stuff, and that'd just be something that would be kind of cool in the game. Maybe like some naked mole rats or something like that. But yeah, it just worked with what we had here. I think I used a bullfrog, an axolotl, um, the terrapin, diamondback, and the Herman's tortoise. Now here we jumped over the first actual habitat that I built was for alpacas and llamas. Nothing really special with the barn part. I didn't go for like any type of theme. I just kind of threw some stuff down. I wanted to use the rock walls on these guys just because I kind of associate the rock with South America. So that's what I used here. And then just kind of built up the inside with my own custom fencing and stuff. Sliding gates that go up into the ceiling. And then of course all of these will be dropped down. I just kind of made it a little more interesting. These guys, I don't think they really jump, so I didn't make everything, extremely tall or going all the way up to the ceiling. I did have to check a couple of times to make sure I was spelling things correctly. I thought I was, but I just wanted to double check. And then for the roof, I threw in a little skylight there. Just kind of because I didn't know how to finish off the roof with regular roof pieces. Oh, excuse me. And yeah, threw some trim around everywhere. Kind of make it a little more pleasing to the eye. And then just some regular fences for the barrier. Again, since this is just kind of barnyard animals and stuff, I tried to stick with more of the traditional kind of ranch fences and everything. I did throw down a few enrichment items. I don't really have anything special for those guys, so yeah, it wasn't really too special to put those down first. And then I decided I wanted to block off the view. That's going to be kind of a little backstage area for staff and everything eventually. So I just wanted to block the view off from the guests. I keep wanting to call them customers. And yeah, these habitats for these animals, they're not really all that special because anytime I've been to like petting zoos and stuff, there's not really a whole lot to look at as far as the enclosures go. It's mainly focused on showcasing the animals. So use a lot of buffalo grass, and I don't remember what those other plants were, but I like to use them as like weeds growing up within the grass. I think that looks really cool. I'd probably start using that a lot more in different builds. And then here, just kind of decorating up some open spaces here. Throwing in some rock work with the conservation boards and kind of some custom signs I pulled off the internet for the alpacas and llama. I put one on each side. And then I went through and I lined all of the paths with these stone pieces. Very time consuming. And then I went back, threw in some goldenrods and a bunch of little nettles and stuff. Just kind of have that extra foliage barrier between the animals and the guests. All those little signboards are custom signs. Again, I didn't make them myself. It's just stuff that pictures I grabbed off the internet. So this I did make. It says "Beware we spit," with just a bunch of different llamas and alpacas, kind of looking at you. And now, right here at the gate, the entrance, I put in just a little, kind of like a little food court with just a hot dog and the smoothie stand. So try to decorate it up a little bit. You'll notice I did leave it the walls pushed down into the ground quite a bit, so they're not so tall. I didn't think it was necessary to have a 4-meter tall building just for these little stands. Tried to decorate it a little bit here with this guy. The hot dog one, I couldn't think of anything to put behind him, so I just kind of left that one bare. A little bit of seating. I couldn't fit any tables in there, so that's why I went with the benches. And of course, lots of trash cans because people are filthy and they like to litter a lot, which is really annoying. And just going through decorating things up a little bit, sticking with the taiga biome as far as the planting goes. And here, this is a playground I pulled off the Steam Workshop. I did not have it in me to build my own, and there's a lot of awesome looking playgrounds on the workshop itself. So I used this one, which I will put a link down in the description, so you can go check it out if you want. And then just surrounded it with the picket fence. People actually go walk around through it, so it actually looks like it's kind of being used. And they'll stand inside there to look at the sheep and the goats, which is what we are working on here. Their shelter, again, nothing special, just kind of a square box for these guys. We have sheep and goats here at my place, so they go into the barn with our horses, but yeah, it's nothing special. Just kind of we don't have a large, traditional style barn or anything. It's pretty much just a rectangle with a roof and siding. So, and I went with the kind of the teal color just to kind of break away from that traditional red that everyone uses. I do use the red on the large barn that I build, just to kind of just break things up a little bit, since I do the sheep and goats and the chickens in the same color. I played around with the new fence pieces. They're pretty cool looking. I like how the gate posts and stuff have different fixtures for the hinges and the latches and stuff like that, so that's pretty cool. So I use those for the sheep and the goats here. I do end up bringing their fencing out a little bit, and I use the elephant grass trick, lowering it below ground level to keep the animals in, but allow the guests to still walk around. I forgot that there were guest gates. So after I built all of this, I watched a couple of YouTube videos and they used the guest gate, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. So when we get to the chicken yard, I guess is what it'll be called, I kind of switch things and go and use those guest gates in that to make it look a little more realistic. So here again, just using the sliding barn doors. Of course you're going to have barn doors on a barn. And using those hooks from the conservation pack. Really like using those guys for a lot of different things. And then this is the foundation for the chicken coop. The floor pieces were way too thick for my liking, so I just kind of use it as a reference to get the sizing right, and make sure everything's all square. And then I use these stained pieces to color them how I wanted them. And yeah, just a small little chicken coop. The one that I built for us, the door is actually a toilet seat with the cover, so you can pull on a rope and it'll open the lid, which opens the door for the chicken door, and the chickens can come out. Something we saw on TikTok, and we had an extra one here because I had just replaced our toilet seat. So we had the old one still, so I did that. Yeah, I put a little window up there so you can actually see into it. And then this is the door we use on our chicken coop to clean it out and get in there. And of course you gotta have the ramp for the chickens to get up inside. I was concerned that the doorway wasn't gonna be big enough for them to actually go in and use this. Just because, yeah, this game isn't very accurate with their hitboxes sometimes. But I did see a couple of them up in there, so that was pretty cool. So I did fence everything in, tall fences, kind of what we have here too, and put the Oceania netting over top of it. Helps keep them from flying out without clipping their wings, and keeps predators out of the enclosure to snatch up your chickens as well. And now we're working on the main barn. I built a little silo next to it. Used that old weather vane until I went through and realized that they actually have a traditional weather vane with the rooster on it, so I swapped that out a little bit later. Yeah, this little barn took me a while to figure out how to get the shape. I probably should have made it a little bit taller. But originally I was just gonna have just a rectangular building with just like a fake facade on the front that looked like a barn, but I I couldn't get it to look right just because different angles and everything. So I ended up just building the entire barn. So since I didn't really plan it out that way, that's how it turned out, I guess. So this area here, this barn's gonna house the pigs on the end where the little lean-to is. There's the pigs, and honestly, I usually get annoyed when it starts raining, but for this section here, it was kind of perfect because you know, pigs are usually in the mud. So I put down all these little mud decals that I pulled off of the Steam Workshop as well. So yeah, that was kind of perfect. You'll see I did use the new hand sanitizers. And then did a little work on the inside of the barn. Just because I know how they look now. And this is pretty much all they are, just the posts with some 2x6s, and then the siding just kind of nailed up onto that. So just lined it up. I did a bunch of rafter work that I didn't show here just because I ended up putting the floor in and you would never see it anyway. And then the hay bales here, which actually these to me look like straw, but the hay that we usually get is more green, and we always put it on a pallet to keep it off the ground. So I stuck it on a pallet in here, and just doing a little bit of decorating with here's the swapping out part. But yeah, trying to use up some of these pieces and stuff. A bunch of cool little pieces if you can use them correctly and have the theme going. And again, with these habitats, there's not really much to go into them, so just kind of threw down a bunch of grass. And, you know, these animals just kind of trample everything. They eat all the grass and plants and stuff, so there wouldn't really be much in there to begin with. Now I did build a corn maze because we have maize now, so why not? It's perfect. Just a fun little sign here for the corn maze. So yeah, finishing this up just with some decorating. Kind of coming up to the end of the video here, so if anyone would like to sponsor this video, just leave me a comment, as well as any of the other videos. If you would like to sponsor a habitat, just let me know. I appreciate everyone, of course, that watches these videos. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button for me. Help me out. So I will let you watch some cinematics, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.